a serious topic. I got my I got somebody real recognizes real. Welcome to my show once again, Stephen Rose. I've had you on before, but go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
All right, the sexiest man alive. Y'all know my YouTube channel and Stephen Rose. No, I don't really consider myself popular channel in the YWC or you know, I mainly do football vids, and I tend to do wrestling here or there, but it was an honor to be on your show, Michael Polston. I think you're a pretty cool dude. I don't have no problems with you, you know. And I'm ready to talk about today's topic.
Yes. Yes, we have some news for you today. This is a news story. I'd heard it earlier today. Actually, I heard it whenever I got off of work, but you just came across it. And you have the article up. Do you want to go ahead and enlighten the people and read the article that you have, man?
All right, I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Let me go ahead and I just shared it. It was breaking news. Jared from Subway has admitted to having sexual relations or molesting 14 children, some as young as 10 years old. He had agreed to a plea bargain, which he will be serving 12 and a half years in prison. He got off light, if you ask me personally. 12 and a half years. Are you fucking serious? For molesting 14 kids? That doesn't even average out to a year a child. That's like 8 months per kid.
Yeah, it's crazy, but he does have to pay back. I think it's $1.4 million. I think he has to pay to the families of the victims and whatnot. I'd heard about this actually. I heard about this about a month ago. I think it was. What had happened was the FBI raided a top member executive or something like that, and a real good friend of Jared Fogle's house, and they had uncovered a bunch of child pornography. Well, turns out the same thing. They ended up hitting Jared the same way because it was it's a pedophilia ring, and this has been becoming a trend here lately with the pedophile rings and whatnot, and a lot of people are not talking about them. And that's really unfortunate because people would rather come on here and talk about another YouTuber and talk about, oh, well, this YouTuber showed his penis, this YouTuber showed his. I don't care. It doesn't fucking matter to me. It's not a big deal. Is it your channel? But this is something serious to me. I think that, you know, it wasn't that long ago, was it, that they uncovered that pedophile ring in, what was it, London? And Australia. It was like a big pedophile ring circle, man. I don't know what's going on, dude, but you want to go ahead and give your thoughts about this and stuff like that?
Okay, there's so many things I want to say about this. First of all, Subway Jared is worth $14 million. That's what the network says he's worth based on what he has made from Subway. That's not including if he's doing anything else. Subway has paid this man $14 million. He is the face of Subway. He is Subway, even though I don't believe his bullshit story about how he lost his weight. I think he lied. There's no way, there's no such thing as a Subway diet. He did not eat, that cocksucker did not eat 3 sandwiches a day and lost all that weight. He might have ate there every now and then, but he probably had some other diet that he was already doing. It's impossible to eat that much bread and lose that much weight. It's impossible for somebody his size. So anyways, to get past that bullshit, I knew he was full of shit, but the crazy thing about this whole thing is he admitted in court to molesting 14 children. The DA, the government, whatever you want to call this shit, they really fumbled the ball and gave this guy a light sentence, 12 and a half years. This is nuts, because if it would have been me or would have been you, we would not be looking at 12 years. I mean, we would be lucky if we had to serve the minimum of 12 of our sentence, but I'm pretty sure our sentence would be between 20 and 40 years, maybe even life, considering the number of counts. The 14 counts. And that's just accounted for. That's not including the other children he might have molested. One of them was young as 10 years old. How the hell did this motherfucker get off on such a light sentence with 14 children, 12 and a half years? That averages out to 8 months per child. How? That doesn't make any sense at all.
He did a plea bargain.
Figure this out.
He did a plea bargain. He did a plea bargain, man. And yeah, I was just listening today too, also. And man, it's sad because it stems from the Vatican, as a matter of fact, man. The Vatican, dude. A lot of these people in higher places are getting away with this shit, and that's fucking unfortunate because nobody's really going ahead and really this is inexcusable. This is pedophilia. This isn't somebody coming over here trying to set somebody up as pedophilia. This motherfucker had child pornography in his house. He had sex with, what was it? The youngest was 10, right?
The youngest was 10.
A 10-year-old. This man had sex with a 10-year-old. And you think it's just the Vatican? Like I said, there was a big pedophile ring in Australia, and a lot of these people are in positions of power. On the Marine base, one of the Marine bases, and I forget which one it is. That's what I was trying to look up at the time. But yeah, custom Marine Corps rings. I was listening to it, and there was like a pedophile ring on one of the Marine bases. And this guy right now, I forget what his name is. I'll try to look him up or whatnot. But they're trying to get rid of this guy because he released that information, and he didn't believe it was classified. But the Marines want to go ahead and get rid of this major that's in the Marines right now for releasing this information, basically to protect lives. This guy was a known sex offender, and he was running a pedophile ring on the Marine base, and the Marines were covering it up. There's just fucking no words for how sick these people are. But people will come over here and make a big deal about shit that doesn't really matter. I don't know if you've heard about this right here. Have you ever seen that movie, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? By any chance?
I've seen it.
Okay. That's Hunter S. Thompson, right?
Yeah.
Hunter S. Thompson actually fucking filmed a child porn snuff film. No shit. That's why the motherfucker's all fucked up. He stays doped out all the fucking time. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it was called the Franklin Cover-Up.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and a lot of these people that are in high positions in government are pedophiles. I mean, this was a big cover-up back in the 80s, and it went up high. This was during the Reagan administration, and well, if you can come back, Stephen, come back. But yeah, man, this has been a big deal, as a matter of fact. And it's starting to become a habit. And I don't want to sit there and say, oh, well, like everybody else may say, that it's linked to homosexual marriage and people taking it that next step. But we got to start saying something about it. You know what I'm saying? We can't just fucking tiptoe around the shit anymore. Yeah. I mean, like he said, like Steven said right here, that's not even a full year per child. That's like 8 months. And yeah, I mean, he is paying $1.4 million to the family members and stuff like that. But how many did you say? How many kids did you say? 14, right?
14 children.
14 children.
Well, minors. One was a child.
Yeah. At one point, $4 million. That's only $100,000 per child.
Yeah, it says here in the article, it says August 19, 2015, which is a very short article, longtime Subway pitchman Jared Fogle has agreed to plead guilty to allegations that he paid for sex acts with minors and received child pornography that he knew had been secretly produced by the former director of his charitable foundation. Federal prosecutors said in court documents released Wednesday. The agreement filed ahead of expected court appearance by Fogle said he agreed to pay $1.4 million in restitution to 14 minor victims who each receives $100,000. Fogle will also be required to register as a sex offender and undergo treatment for sexual disorders. The government has agreed not to seek a sentence of no more than 12.5 years in prison, and Fogle has agreed to not ask for less than 5 years. According to the documents, which said Fogle will plead guilty to 1 count of traveling to engage in illicit sexual conduct with the minor and 1 count of distribution and receipt of child pornography.
Yeah, man, yeah, it's just fucking, dude, it's fucking ridiculous. You didn't hear a lot about this in the media. I didn't cover it initially because I didn't know what all the what all was for certain. Like I said, I have a hard time taking the media at their words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on real quick, Bill. I'm sending it right now.
All right. It's just frustrating to me because I don't understand why he would only get 12 and a half years if there's 14 minors involved. I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy, man, and this is sad because now you're looking at you look at some of the drug dealers and stuff like that are out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can get caught with 10 pounds of weed and get a 20-year sentence, but you could be a sex offender and get 4 years. Where's the justification in that? How does having an extreme amount of weed more of a perpetuating sentence, because I don't consider weed to be a drug, as opposed to somebody touching little boys or little girls or whatever? Like, I don't get the logic on how the sentence is much lighter for them versus a sentence much heavier for somebody who has a large amount of weed or an accessible amount of weed. To me, that doesn't make sense. You know, I've seen people on manslaughter get less of a sentence than that, but you can get 20 years on a weed charge. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And for 14 children, I mean, obviously, the fact he has money and he has a little fame, and other than the fact that the DA failed, that they really dropped the ball in this case, because 12 and a half years ain't shit, and he might get a 5-year sentence. I mean, that's just ridiculous. If I did something like that, I'd be looking at 20 plus. If you did something like that because of your status of us being considered just a regular citizen, we would probably we would get the book thrown at us. So obviously you can tell that money does play a role in this. And that's like the one thing I hate about this government system is that it's a business. It doesn't seem like there's really a justice. It's just more of a business, you know?
Right. Yeah. Because he's connected. He's a face. He's I wouldn't say a big celebrity, but he's definitely got celebrity status. There's no telling how much he's made with the Subway Eat Fresh stuff. I know South Park has done an episode. Jared has AIDS. Well, that's not all Jared has. So I mean, he's been around. He's somewhat of a celebrity. I won't say that he's a big one, but this is yeah, it's shocking because there's still probably more people involved, man. We already know that it was like a CEO or something like that. Hey, Phil, just to let you know, I sent you the link on Facebook. Go check your message. If you want join in on the conversation and give your thoughts and views on this, go right ahead. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely more than one person in on this. So it's a group, and it's always weird because it's always like a fraternity. It's usually a pedophile ring. Once you find somebody with child porn, you know that there's a group of people that are doing this, and
wow,
that's always seems like how it happens, man. It's never just one. It's always like there's a group of them somewhere. There's going to be another one somewhere, and I know that I think it was the CEO or somebody of Subway. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what this is going to do for Subway's business and whatnot. I mean, I've been kind of burnt out on Subway for a while anyways, so I don't eat a lot of Subway anymore. I used to eat the shit out of Subway.
Yeah, me too. Because, you know, $5 footlongs, man, is convenient, especially like the meatball marinara, the roasted chicken with bacon on it, and you know, and I'll have my veggies and all that on there, and then they got the salads and the soups now, the chips. And to me, I just feel like I haven't eaten a Subway probably about 6 months because I got a little burned out of it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm more of a Quiznos kind of guy or Schlotsky's kind of guy, but to me, I feel like after this Jared thing came out, man, it just makes me not even want to eat at Subway no more. I mean, I know it's not their fault, but I know it's not their fault, so I'm not saying, hey, Subway, you hired this known child molester, because it's not like they knew. But it's still, this guy's the face, man. He's like the John Cena of your company, dude. I mean, and for him to get, this is the guy that you've been lying about for years, saying that he is a spokesperson, how he works for you guys, which he doesn't, and how he made some fictitious story up about him dieting from Subway that they can't even prove. I knew they were full of shit on that, but I mean, I thought Jarrett was kind of a little funny, and he was like, Subway eat fresh, and then he would bite into something. He had like that nerdy look, so, and then his story kind of would inspire people to want to eat there, because look at this guy who lost all this weight, regardless if he felt that he worked there or if he really did the diet there. Look, maybe if we make healthier choices, Subway has the option for that. I get that, but at the same sense, I just, now after this child pornography shit came out, I don't even know what type of stance Subway is going to take going into the future, now that this guy admitted to molesting 14 children during his employment with Subway, or even prior to that. It could be prior, it could be during, or it could be both, but I don't see how Subway is going to rebound from this. They're probably going to have to sell Subway sandwiches for $2, the $2 foot long,
I mean, here's my thing on it, right? Here's my thing on it. Here's my thing on it. Whenever you start boycotting stuff like that, like say Chick-fil-A because they don't support homosexuals, or Starbucks because they don't support gun rights or whatever. You got to understand that company has workers over there that don't make these policies. So whenever you boycott something because of something that some asshole did over here, wherever the fuck was it, Connecticut or something?
Yeah.
See, that's weird because a lot of fucking weird ass shit goes on in Connecticut, just saying. With that being said, whenever you start doing that, you're affecting the normal guys like me and Steven here that work at Subway. And I don't understand I work at Subway, but, guys like us, you know what I'm saying, that come over here, use it to pay their bills and stuff. So don't let it discourage you from eating Subway. But yeah, definitely this needs to be out there. This needs to be news. What do you think about this, Phil?
So what? I never heard the end result of what happened with Jared. What was his sentencing?
The end result is he's going to serve at a sentence no more than 12 and a half years, and he admitted to molesting 14 children. And he's only being charged with one count of driving from state to state, eliciting sexual acts with the minor. That includes having child pornography in his possession. But he admitted to molesting 14 children. And he's only getting 12 and a half years, so that's the average of 8 months per child. And he's ordered to pay $1.4 million in restitution, which averages to $100,000 per child.
I think it's absolutely sickening, and that guy should rot in jail.
If that would have been Phil, or me, or him, or Michael, first of all, we probably would have to drain our bank accounts just to have representation. And then after we were drained out of our bank accounts, we're looking at a plea bargain of probably no less than 20 years apiece, if we're lucky. And that's if we're lucky. So obviously, you can tell that fame and money probably plays a part, which makes me believe that this court, the supposed government system, is more of a business as opposed to a justice system based on what they feel. Does the crime fit the punishment? In this case, it doesn't. You can lock somebody up on a weed charge for 20 plus years, a life sentence even at times, on distribution of marijuana, which I don't consider that a drug. Some people do, most people don't. Even people who don't do drugs even say, I don't consider weed a drug, because you can't overdose on it. Number two, if you can get a large sentence on a weed charge, why is it that sex offenders get probation or get 4 years? I mean, to me, if you're molesting little boys or little girls, to me it seems like their lives are more impacted than versus you selling weed to somebody. Where does the crime fit the punishment here? I'm convinced now that if you have the money, basically the court system is a money-making business. That's basically what this is.
No doubt.
Now here's something here that I want to go ahead and throw to you, because I understand how the media works a little bit.
Okay.
You notice that everybody jumped on Bill Cosby supposedly raping all these women, white women, most of them were, back in the 60s, mind you, that makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. But he was raping these women and mickeying them and doing all this sexual shit. They never filed any kind of police report back then. The statute of limitations runs up, and in 2000s, all of a sudden, they're all coming out in waves and droves to come over here and claim that they were raped by Bill Cosby. And now nobody even talks about this whole pedophilia ring of 14 children that this guy, they're running like a sex ring, man. They're fucking, somebody had to have been supplying these kids to him. Do you realize what I'm saying? It's not just Jared. It's not just Jared involved. Well, there is people over here soliciting kid prostitution.
I hate to use this as a funny situation, but there's nothing funny about it. But now with the Subway and Footlong and Jared, it's just, I'm going to be thinking nothing but proverbial shit on this. And I know you guys have probably been, telling me, people are telling me, you know, obviously when he's in jail, he's going to take the Footlong up his ass. The assistant said, well, he doesn't need $5 to have the Footlong up his ass.
I was like, can I have the 6-inch? I don't want the Footlong.
Dude, I have pictures that people were posting on Facebook where it showed Chris Hansen, and he's like, put the Footlong down and have a seat.
Yeah, I know. The same stuff has been going through my damn mind as well. It's like, oh, I don't even know if this is going to make me through me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, your thing's kind of breaking up. Hello?
You froze up.
Yeah, it froze. It freezes at times.
Stephen, what you was getting to earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is. Where are you from, Texas?
I'm from Houston, that's correct.
Well, I don't know how it is in Texas, but in Louisiana, you probably easier to get off with murder than a DWI, because a DUI, everybody makes money.
Well, it's $10,000 for your first offense, right?
10,000, probably with everything combined. Yeah, it's around that.
Yeah, because my buddy is a cop. He said he got a DWI. I'm sorry, driving while intoxicated, and he got his charge, like his first offense, was like 10 grand after everything. Well, lawyers and fines and everything, 10 grand. Classes.
The lawyers make money. The classes make money. The Toxalock, which is the thing you blow in to start your vehicle.
Yeah.
That is also a money maker who I believe the sheriff around my area has a partnership in.
Wow. It's mind-boggling to hear that Jared Fogle got 12 and a half years and maybe between 5 and 12 and a half on one. I know it's one count, but he admitted to 14. I mean, the DA really dropped the ball on this one. They really did drop the ball on this one. Or did they even care?
That's insane. He should have at least had 100 years.
At least 50. I mean, something, but 5. I mean, he gets out in 5 years. I mean, that's basically a slap on the wrist. I mean, if I got caught with 10 pounds of weed, would I get the same charge? No, because they consider that a more of a worse offense. I mean, this is insane.
Well, I want to see that if you get caught with 3 DUIs in Louisiana, that's 10 years.
Really?
Yes. And this guy is molesting children and gets less than that? Come on.
Exactly. This is insane.
It is. It blows my mind. When did this come out today?
Yeah, it just came out today. They just had the article that he admitted in court to sleeping with he admitted to court to sleeping with 14 kids, including like one was 10 years old.
Is that shocking to you that he did that, something like that?
I don't want to say because he's a nerd, he looks like a child molester, but after it came out, I don't see how Subway is going to rebound from this. I know they're trying to move on and they're trying to forget about him, but I wouldn't be surprised if now after he basically confessed to this. I wouldn't doubt it if you saw the $2 footlongs for the next year or so.
Well,
$2 footlong.
It's all like Poston said. It depends on how the media spins it.
Well, or they'll do a $5 footlong, get one free. They'll probably do that for the next month.
Maybe. Like I said, it just depends on how much they promote it and get it out there. I mean, I've heard this a little bit, but like, you take and I haven't put a lot of emphasis on this right here because I know that the media does like to manipulate shit and they do like to spin shit and they do straight up lie in some cases. Fox has this undercover, and to me, the reason why I haven't covered it or I haven't mentioned it is because to me it does look a little orchestrated. But the Planned Parenthood thing, supposedly Planned Parenthood is selling basically premature birth. They're selling like the body parts and the livers and whatnot, the kidneys and stuff like that of fetuses and shit.
That's weird.
They're selling them for, it's really fucking weird. And it's actually a crime. It's funny because like the liberals will say jump on the Confederate flag. And they'll say this is a big issue, this is what's wrong with America. But they won't say anything about the whole, Dr. Goslin, I think his name was Dr. Goslin, in Philadelphia actually had like premature, like basically he was doing partial birth abortions, and he had a bunch of baby parts all over his fucking office. Never made the news whatsoever. Because you want to know why stuff like this doesn't make the news? Is because that goes against what? It goes against abortion. Because if you heard that, hey, Planned Parenthood is selling baby body parts, maybe partial birth abortions and whatnot, then you would be against like fucking Planned Parenthood, and then you wouldn't fund it. So it doesn't make the CNN, the MSNBC. But you take a case like Sandra Bland. Everybody's fucking coming over here saying everything about Sandra Bland. That is fake. That's not real. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no timestamp on the video. All dash cams have to have that timestamp. That's what makes them admissible in court, is that timestamp. So it has the date, it has the exact time, so whenever they throw this out here as evidence in a case or whatever, then you have that timestamp. You've got to have that timestamp. Security cameras have that. Military cameras, if you have anything dealing with the military, law enforcement, they all have the same timestamp. And it's military time.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so, they'll sit there, and that's why I said the media will straight up lie about shit. And then they'll promote other stuff to cover up for bigger shit.
That's what I was about to say. All the stuff about the flag, that was a cover-up for an ulterior motive. Something else was going on.
I can tell you exactly what went on.
It was a distraction.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is going to give private corporations basically the ability to run our government, was going through. They couldn't get it passed because everybody knew it was bad. It has SOPA laws in it. It has some people have said that it had a small arms treaty. I don't know. I won't go as far as to sit there and say gun confiscation or anything like that. But they couldn't get it passed. And then you want to know who actually blocked it? It was actually the Democrats, Obama's own party, actually blocked it. Now, I'll take my hats off to the Democrats. There was a couple of Republicans, a guy named Rand Paul, a guy named Ted Cruz, and a few others. I know a Michael Burton down here, he was against it. So there was a few people that were against it. With that being said, they got it blocked. Well, I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, it's going to at least take about another month for them to come back to this. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a victory. Well, the very next week they passed the Fast Track Authority, which was the TAA, which means that they could bypass the Senate, which it got blocked in the first place, and they could rush it straight through Congress where they were already going to get it passed. And then they ended up getting it passed. But while they were getting all this stuff passed, which we don't even know everything we don't even know, they're still writing it, as a matter of fact. So we don't know, or we already don't know what the whole TPP is going to include. Y'all will know here in probably about another year or so, because they're going to start putting it into effect later on. And they're going to sit there and say, well, we got it passed, we signed off on this agreement, and we've got to adhere to our promises and whatnot, because that's the way our government works. Y'all will find out what it's about, whether it has SOPA laws in it, whatever it has in it, you're going to find out what it is. But we were too busy talking about the Confederate flag, homosexual marriage, and what was the other one? Obamacare at the time. They had three things come out at once because they knew that if you fucking found out about the Trans-Pacific, or if somebody came over here and you looked into the Trans-Pacific Partnership, you would sit there and say, you would be calling up your congressman, you would be calling up your senator. Well, I won't say you specifically, maybe not y'all, but somebody would, you know what I'm saying, would get around to saying, hey, no, we're not doing this shit. All right? You better say no, or else you're not going to be in office again. And then we'll still get it repealed.
Wow.
My thing is, did anybody give two fucks about the flags before it was brought up?
No.
All it was to me was the top of the General Lee.
Yeah, you know what they gave a shit about? They gave a shit about the name of the Washington Redskins was racist. Shit like that they were... I mean,
That's
stuff like this
stupid.
you cannot make up.
That's retarded.
It is, because they don't give a fuck.
I mean, you know, people don't stop and think about shit anymore, man. They're like, well, I think that this is we need to talk about this right here, and half the shit. This is what I try to tell people. Trayvon Martin, perfect example, right? If you wasn't in the immediate family of Trayvon Martin and you wasn't there and you didn't witness the situation or anything, why do you care? Why are you watching court TV? Why are you getting all bent out of shape? It has no effect on your life unless he was a relative to you. And if you were kin to Trayvon Martin and you have some feelings, you can have a feeling then. If he was related to you, if he was your friend, if you know you was his girlfriend or whatever, then yeah, okay, I can understand why you would be upset. Why jump on these stupid special interest group movements? Nothing personal, like the Black Lives Matter that come over here. I noticed that their operations didn't work here with the Sandy Bland thing. I know Anonymous was trying to get something started here in Texas. Didn't work, which I'm glad. I think that a lot of people are starting to wake up on what they're trying to do. Like I said, it was total bullshit. If you go over there, you can go to Sandy Bland's Facebook page, and you can see that she was really talking. She was a part of hashtag Black Lives Matters, anyways, which you already know is kind of one of these hack organizations that pop up all of a sudden just to make a lot of money and to go ahead and basically rebel rouse. And it didn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. I think Anonymous came over here, and then we're Anonymous. Really, I think hurt the cause more than helped the cause was they came over here and they doctored a photo of it. And I cannot make this shit up. I cannot make this up myself. They said that she was already dead in her mugshot. That the cops must have she was already dead on the ground, and then they took a picture of her. And I'm like, that's not going to work. That's not believable at all. It's not. I mean, there's a lot of people that walk through the police station. There would have to be a lot of people in on it. I'm just saying. You guys,
what do you think? Do you think she killed herself, or do you think it was a cover-up?
I think it was a hoax.
So what do you think she killed herself?
No, I think it's a hoax. I don't think that nobody
You don't
died
think
at all.
she's dead?
No, I think that she's just an actress. I don't know if y'all seen a video or not. Actually, you know, I got to go ahead and give Luke Dog the credit for this one right here, but I showed it on another one of my shows. But it actually shows the Sandy Hook kids at the Super Bowl. And this guy goes through there in depth and shows every damn one of them. Shows them the pictures that they show were from years ago. You know what I'm saying? In Sandy Hook, all the kids that died, that was pictures of them from like 6 years ago or something. So they all look like little kids, but they were all at the Super Bowl and they're all okay.
Damn.
And
you don't think that school shooting took place?
What's up?
You don't think that school
I know
shooting?
it did. I knew it wasn't. I watched it live. Well, I didn't. What happened was I was about that time. I think I was still smoking, or I don't know. I was at the gas station. I went to the gas station for something. I don't remember what it was, but I was at the gas station, and the guy behind the counter sitting there. Oh, there's another shooting. And I'm looking at the TV, and everybody's just kind of walking around. The news is sitting there saying, "Oh, yeah, there's another shooting. There's 2 people that they're looking for, and yada yada yada." The shit that the news does. But everybody was kind of walking around and just malingering around, just looking at each other like, "What the fuck are we supposed to do? What's going on? Does anybody know?" And they just got their hands in their pocket like they had all fucking day, dude. And I'm like, well, I was hoping that somebody would say, yeah, this is bullshit. But the thing is it's on CNN, so nobody's going to sit there and question what the news says. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You're going to sit there and say it must be real because it's on CNN. But it's not like CNN, well, you take the Brian Williams thing. That was fake. Oh, yeah, I was shot at by an RPG. They fucking lie all the fucking time, dude. They do. I've done videos on it. Proof that they green screen fucking most of the shit that went on in Iraq. They know they can get y'all to buy it. They know. So why not just, if you want to sell something, or if you want people, who was that fucking dickhead that said, never let a good crisis go to waste? This is Rahm Emanuel, right? Never let a good crisis go to waste. I believe Hillary said that one as well. So if there isn't a crisis, they'll make one. You've noticed since Obama's got into office with this mindset, Eric Holder brainwashed the people where they don't like guns anymore and stuff like that. Ever since they got into the office, it has been like fucking Boston bombing, Sandy Hook, Aurora, Arizona. And I remember a military, one of my sergeants said, I don't know, he said the Obama apocalypse or something. I forget what the dude said, but he made mention of that there was going to be a lot of fucking terrorist attacks. And I thought that's kind of weird because ever since you've had the Ferguson riots, the Baltimore riots, racial, just fucking racial tension everywhere. And, it's becoming too fucking much, man. It really is. That's why I tell people, you cannot go ahead and watch Fox. That's a joke. Donald Trump's a joke. MSNBC. That's really a fucking joke. CNN is that's like a fucking Eddie Murphy joke or a fucking Richard Pryor joke right there.
I agree. That's why I stopped watching CNN and Fox News. I just stopped watching it all together, you know.
CNN might as well be the E channel news.
They might as well be the Huffington Post, man.
I know
there's nothing but garbage in it.
CNN is geared more towards like a liberal stance, and I noticed that Fox News is more towards a right conservative approach. You know?
Right.
They don't know what the fuck they're for. I hear where you're coming from, and you're right, but I don't think they know who to talk about anymore, or what side to take.
They've just been creating news, man, and it's been getting so bad here lately, man. It's just like there's nothing to cover. But see, stuff like this Jared Fogle thing is not making mainstream news like it should. Now, I know you came across the article, but you don't really hear a lot of people talking about it. And it's been going on for at least a couple of months, I think since February, actually.
Didn't they find his one of his managers or the head guy of his foundation was into some shit like that?
Yeah, that's what started it. That's what started it. Yeah, it was the head manager of his foundation. I was thinking as like a CEO or something, but
So he got busted, and then he snitched on Fogle.
Yeah.
Well, the FBI went to Fogle's house and went pick up all his electronics, his computer and stuff like that, and they went through it. And I think through that they found messages or something like that.
12.5 years. That's it. For 14 kids, that's retarded. This is just insane. I know he was only charged with one count of, eluding the sex act, but like when he admitted to 14, to me, that just sounds like, how is it that you only charged him with one account? I mean, like, you probably only had evidence, but he's admitting to more. Why are you not pinning this guy to the wall and making an example out of him? To me, it seems like now this is more of a money-making thing. Like, okay, we see he's paying $1.4 million back, but Subway paid this man $14 million, not including if he had any other endorsements or if he was doing anything else for a living for any other companies, foundations or whatever. So to me, it seemed like this was more of like a business decision to give this man this, as opposed to saying, okay, well, we're gonna pin you to the wall, make an example out of you that no matter how rich you are, you're not getting out of this.
And these kids have a life sentence, and mentally they're screwed for life.
Oh yeah, they're fucked. They're fucked by the Subway guy. They'll never be able to eat another Subway sandwich again.
And then this guy right here is on a lot of those commercials. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here is going to be like, I mean, it would basically like be being raped by Ronald McDonald. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, for real.
Or
That's
the clown from Wendy's, Or the clown from Wendy's,
Yeah. Fucking Burger King or somebody, man.
Because Subway is on every corner of every town in every city and state.
Imagine when these commercials come on and these kids, what they're going to be thinking. The first thing they're going to think is this fucking motherfucker here with the foot long.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just having a little too much fun with this, Steve.
Yeah, he is.
He's just having.
Hey man, I like the one picture I saw where somebody showed Jared with the foot long and Chris Hansen's face, and he's like, Jared, do me a favor, put down the foot long and have a seat.
I have to ask you a couple questions, Sharon.
That's you. Man, this is nuts, man. I mean, this is the face. This is the John Cena of your business, man. I mean, basically, you push this guy for a bogus story that we know is not true. And then this is the face. I mean, like, this guy is fucking Subway, dude. This guy is the foot long. This guy is the fucking mascot. He is the fucking John Cena. You put this guy over.
I wonder how many people knew, man. I wonder how many people knew about this and just didn't say shit about it.
Or brushed it under the rug,
Yeah.
Maybe had friends that knew about it that were like, I'm on hush about it,
I wonder how many people from Subway knew about it. Like the executives.
Yeah, it's Connecticut where he lives at, right? Am I not mistaken? Was it Connecticut?
I think his house was around Kentucky.
Yeah. Guess what my friend just texted me? He just messaged me on Facebook. He said basically Subway pushed this guy for a bogus story, and now they're eating their karma. They lied to their I guess customers on this bogus story that this guy lost hundreds of pounds on eating at Subway every fucking day.
Yeah, he got
and now they're paying for it because they rolled the dice. They made a gamble with the bogus story. This guy ended up being a child molester, and now they're paying the piper or they're paying the reaper.
Now,
Why?
so
I
they
mean, I don't, you know?
they pretty much hired a child molester with a stomach surgery.
This guy went on
Now,
probably a low-carb diet.
like I said, I wonder how many people at Subway knew. Did the owners, the ones that started, the ones who started the franchise? Maybe was he like? Did he have some sort of rapport with them? And they said, "Hey, well, you're one of our guys." Because a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these guys stick together. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they have sicknesses
Well,
like this, they can identify with each other, so they run in packs. You know what I'm saying?
or they just didn't want to ruin their own name, so they tried to keep it on the hush.
True.
Like I said, these guys, like I said, it's like they go to these frat parties. We hear about it all the time. Um, that's what I used to tell the people because I used to work at this campus bar, and I said unless you're going to be in a fraternity, which unless you go to if you go to a major university, if you don't get into a fraternity, then you're not going to get the $250,000 dollar a year job. You're going to get the maybe $40,000 to $50,000 a year job if you're lucky. And it says you're not going to get the job that's just going to pay your tuition off right away. I mean, you've got to get into those fraternities. But the bad thing is with these fraternities, you run into this a lot. You know what I'm saying? And not just pedophilia, it's other stuff too. Embezzlement. But these guys usually stick together and they run in packs. There was his person, his like Phil said.
It was
One of the other
Indiana.
person. Yeah, he was in Indiana. I knew one of them lived in Indiana.
He was with Subway since 1999.
His motherfucker is Subway. I mean, like, when I'm eating a footlong, that fucker's name is in my brain. I even fucking mimic him when I'm eating my Subway. I'm like, you pushed him for a bogus story, and now you're eating crow. This guy ended up being a child molester. You hired this guy on a fake, bogus story, stuffed some money in his pocket, and it did good. It brought you in some money. But now I'm wondering, what is Subway going to do now that he's admitted to the amount of children? I wonder what their approach is. Like, what type of strategy are they going to do to market past the post era of Jared? How are they going to get out of this?
They're going to give him the Hulk Hogan treatment.
Like I said, that's if anybody really picks it up, because I heard it on Fox, and then you found the story. But like I said, it really, I mean, has anybody seen any posts on Facebook about this?
No.
I shared the story, and it was only about a paragraph long. That was it.
Yeah.
I think they'll just erase him.
That's nuts.
Hello,
Jared. I'm NBC's Chris Hansen. I'm going to share it and tag you.
That's what I think they're going to do. They're going to just erase him like the WWE did Hulk Hogan and go ahead with their professional football players or athletes.
Yeah, like Robert Griffin.
Right.
I don't, like I said, I think that they're going to erase him. They're going to hope that they don't get too much exposure and, and hope that they can just sweep it under the rug. I don't think that they want really too many people talking about it. I haven't heard an overabundance of it on the news. I tell you, I have heard a lot about Bill Cosby. Shit. Turn on ESPN, they're talking about Bill Cosby.
Well, Bill Cosby admitted to to putting drugs in their drinks. Didn't he?
Like I said, did he? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They come back, and this is a weird thing, right? Media's covering this shit, right? And like I said, I did my video, and I'm sure other people did video talking about the same situation. I don't think that they were getting the kind of traction that they thought they would.
Mhm.
And so they come back and they say, well, he admitted to this in 2005 in some court order. So you've been sitting on this for 10 damn years?
And did
Or
nothing.
no, I forgot. No, it wasn't even in 2005. It was like 2000 and something that he supposedly admitted on it. And they've been pursuing this shit with Bill Cosby since 2005. But they media never mentioned this the whole damn time. And now all of a sudden, about what, a few months ago, they find something that said it just doesn't make any sense. None of the shit makes any sense. I'm sorry. Uh, I'll have to call bullshit if it looks like bullshit. I usually call bullshit on it because, like I said, unlike a lot of people, I really don't trust the media anymore. I really, really don't trust the media at all. I just it's hard to fucking sit here. And the bad thing is that there's people that work in the media that I really do like. Worked. I actually did security for like a local media station. Them guys were the coolest, man. They were fucking awesome. They treated me good. I loved the fucking job. They were really, really, really nice people. And I understand that they don't really get any say in what they report or not. And they just go along with their producers. Their producers bring this down. This is what you want to say. Basically, it's basically like what we do here on YouTube, pretty much. Only it's on a fucking regional area, network and whatnot. Not like fucking everybody's gonna your TV's on. You're watching the fucking news, and it's regional. So people know them, and so they're like local celebrities and whatnot, I guess. I don't know because I don't watch the media. I didn't know any of them. Whenever I started working there, I was like, I need to see your ID. So I'd have to look at their ID. And he was like, oh, well, you don't know who I am? And I'm like, no, because I don't watch the news. You know what I'm saying? I do now. I mean, I don't watch it. The place I work at has it on. So ironically, they like the fucking news station that I work at. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know who any of them were. You know what I'm saying? It's just like because I don't watch it anymore. I just find all the stuff non-palatable. You know.
Well, they're it's nothing personal. They're just told what to report and how to report it.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I was getting at.
Hold on one second.
And it's kind of sad, man, because you know, the news as a word is a fucking acronym. North, East, West, and South. That's where you get the term news from. Because they're supposed to be reporting all the information from each of the areas and each of the regions. But if you can't fucking trust what they're putting out, if everybody's fucking lying, trying to go ahead and spin stories, and a lot of it's just spin and whatnot. You get stuff like this right here that gets swept under the rug. This is important. This is way more important than the fucking Sandy Bland shit. Whatever. Like I said, this shit just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The Sandy Bland shit. It really doesn't. If you think that it does, then you just want it to make sense because you're investing in it, and they're getting an emotion out of you. And until
Right.
you can turn it off and say, you know what, look, I'm going to look into shit for myself. I'm going to learn about this shit, and I'm going to do my own, what we're doing right now. Then you're going to always constantly be pissed off, and you're always going to be disgruntled. And nothing's ever going to get accomplished whatsoever. No good's going to come out of it
Yeah, because
because the guts are doing so bad.
most people take the reports for what it is
Right, and
and,
they don't
and what it sounds like.
yeah, they don't go and do their own research, or you don't really even got to do research. You just got to use common sense. If something doesn't seem right, then more than likely there's something wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? If you look at that dash cam for the Sandy Bland thing, and I know I keep coming back to that one, but if you look at that dash cam and you're like, hey, this is kind of like a YouTube video that I do right here, and it looks like it's very, it doesn't look like something that you've ever seen on cops or anything, then more than likely it's not real. If it doesn't look real, more than likely it's not real. That's why I didn't really, like I said, that's why I didn't really jump on board with the whole fucking Planned Parenthood thing. I'm surprised that more people ain't offended by it, because people seem to buy everything that they see on a media outlet, and Fox has been covering it. That's a media outlet. So it really amazes me that people have been so desensitized, you know, that they're like, well, we're not going to sit there and talk about Planned Parenthood because that's uncomfortable, and I would have to take a stance on abortion, and then we'd have to talk about something that's a touchy subject. But you
That
need to learn to grow a set and say, well, well, what the fuck is this all about? And then find out about it. And if it's real, call them out for it. If it's fake, then say, hey, I don't believe this shit. So that's why I didn't report on it. That's why I didn't do a video on it. Is because it does look like it's orchestrated a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So what do they actually do with the baby parts?
Well, what they do is like they'll do. I'm gonna assume that it's partial birth abortions, or like late, like past the point of whenever you're supposed to do abortions. But what they do is they sell body parts. So whenever they grab it, of course, they you remember that was the big thing that they had against stem cell research and whatnot, was because stem cell research and all the stem cells came from aborted fetuses and whatnot. Um, what they would do is they would like take like the baby, they try to grab it, and they explain it in the video. You can go and see the video. I'm sure if you go look up Planned Parenthood selling parts or something like that, you can find the videos and whatnot. They're out there. But they talk about grabbing it and trying to crush the brain or something like that. It's kind of a sick video. The lady's eating the salad the whole fucking time. They've got a few of them. It's like over an hour worth of videos. Supposedly, this is the Breitbart shit, which a lot of people really didn't get in on the Andrew Breitbart, because a lot of the shit did kind of look like it was set up and whatnot. It's kind of hard for me to believe that even, and I consider myself an independent with more conservative views, or at least values. But it's hard for me to believe that even fucking strong leftist fucking neo fucking Marxist fucking liberals can be that fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? And say,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I think I'll have my ice cream with a side of dead baby or anything. I just don't believe that. So the shit looked like it was a little rehearsed to me, just to make some news and whatnot. I don't know. I could be wrong, and it could be real. But I just didn't feel comfortable enough backing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I know that like one of the guys on here named Undertaker Freak, he'll jump on anything like a bitch in heat. Whether it be wrong, whether it be ridiculous, whether it be stupid, he jumps on it and tries to justify it. There's a few other people over here that can get away from being that stupid and doing stupid shit, and people back them no matter what. Like they have some sort of really divine secret or anything, and they're not. They're just like us, but you kind of justify. It's like just justifying shit. I don't know.
That's the guy that he went back and forth with Sean's view, didn't he?
Yeah, and to me personally, did not care for his video or anything about it. I think the guy comes off as pompous. I know that I don't know if it was him or if it was like one of his fucking one of his field trolls or something. But he was sitting there saying, well, some people would consider him a genius. He has 148 IQ, and some people would consider that a genius. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, that's not a genius, that's a linguist, because I'm a linguist. and that's what I think from 140. I think it's from 140 to like 159 or something like that. You're considered a linguist. You're not considered a genius until you get to 160.
He had a video, something about drug testing for the welfare is stupid. I didn't actually watch it. I just saw the title. It seems as though that everything that has to do with Republicans, he's totally against no matter what it is, without even having an open mind.
I don't know who that is, but I don't know, dude. I just deleted your comment. I don't care. Get a life. Excess Renter, good show. Uh, TLWG Keith, fuck Jared Fogle and fuck Subway for hiring this sick fuck as a spokesperson. I will never eat Subway again.
Where are you getting this from?
You know,
This is the comment section.
guys, I don't want to go out and say that Jared Fogle, that Subway knew about it or that they should be punished for this man's mistakes. But it just sucks because you push this guy as your top guy. I mean, he basically is Subway. Like, that's basically the way you promoted this fucking guy. And now that he caught this case, there's going to be a lot of like backlash that you're going to have to take from this because you pushed this guy so bad down our throats. I mean, you basically John Cena shoved him down our throats. And I mean, I didn't have a problem with the guy. You pushed him. You wanted him to be the face. You wanted him to be Subway. That's fine. You needed a spokesperson. I get it. Verizon Wireless had that one guy with the glasses for the longest time. You got Flo that's with Progressive. I mean, I get it. But at the same time, now that he caught this case, you're really going to have to pay the piper on this one because of the fact that you overly pushed this guy for so long. This was a guy you were backing up. This was a guy that you co-signed for. And now, all of a sudden, he caught this child pornography case with this guy being the face of your company. Doesn't look good on Subway's part, but it's like you said, they're probably going to try to pretend as if he never existed. They're going to erase him from history. But to me, I feel like that would be a step in the right direction, but I think they're probably going to have reduced lunches from now on.
I mean, really, technically, you know what? If Subway really wanted to do something, they could offer more money at least to the victims. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
That would be good. That would be good.
That would definitely help y'all out a lot. I mean, y'all make money. Y'all have every one of these damn places in every town, gas stations, Walmarts, everywhere. And I mean, they're starting to monopolize. They're actually starting to run McDonald's out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Out of a lot of these places, and with this right here, technically, really, if this really took off and blew up now, I mean, you're looking at a whole lot of people sitting here, and people nowadays they look at your company now. I mean, you look at Chick-fil-A because one CEO wanted to sit there and say that they don't agree with homosexual marriage. What they were trying to, they knew they wasn't going to be. You can't fucking, you're not going to be able to pass up on a Chick-fil-A. I'm sorry. You can't ban Chick-fil-A. That's impossible to ban. I mean, you look at that place right now. You can't get into the motherfucker. Any one of them, you've got a Chick-fil-A there, you're making money. But they protesting Chick-fil-A because they didn't agree with homosexual marriage. And see, who's that going to hurt? It's not hurting the guy, the CEO or whatever. And that's going to be the bad thing is that a lot of people that work for Subway, they're stuck, man. It's just one of those things to where it's like, the common worker, the common guy like us, we're always the ones that's going to get fucked behind these political movements and whatnot. You think you're trying to strike a cause for somebody. And
hey, Falston, how many commenters do we have so far in the comment section?
I saw 3. Or I see. Yeah, I saw 3. One of them I deleted though because
Okay.
nothing personal. I'm trying to keep the drama off my stuff right now. And if you want to go ahead and post a comment about what we're talking about, go ahead, dude. But yeah, I've been trying to. I'm not going back into the drama, so you guys need to go ahead and move on. And y'all go ahead and y'all keep on talking about what you're talking about. And I'll keep doing what I want to do over here because that's not what I want to do anymore.
What was the comment you deleted?
It was something about Melanie again.
Oh God.
So,
Oh.
and Pornhub, just to let you know. So it just, like I said, I don't want to get back into doing any of that stuff and whatnot. I mean, yeah, it's just this is more serious, all right. I don't care about that what drama they
So
have
let me
going
so
on.
let me ask you guys this: do y'all think? Okay, obviously we can tell that Jared is, based on his own admission, is guilty. Do you feel that Bill Cosby was guilty? Maybe he just didn't get caught.
Didn't he admit to it also?
He admitted to putting pills or date rape drug inside their drinks.
Yeah, then he did it. You don't just put.
Um,
You just don't do that just to do it.
It's Jello.
I don't
It wasn't
know.
Jello.
I don't know if it would really, like I said, the whole story sounds messed up to me. It was back in the 60s. These women have held on to it for what, 40 years. Most of them have. Uh, was it now? Here's my thing. Was it somebody coming over here trading sex for drugs? Is that a possibility? I don't know. I find the Bill Cosby thing. I've always found the Bill Cosby thing suspect, just because, like I said, back in the '60s, an African American male and how many fucking 40 or 50 white women? He didn't stand a snowball's chance in hell in the '60s. One white woman and
Yeah,
a successful black man. You can't tell me that one of those white women wouldn't have went to the cops, and then you wouldn't have had some fucking wannabe Columbo come down here and take down the whole fucking Bill Cosby empire.
but didn't the Bill Cosby show come out in the '80s?
Yeah, it came out in the '80s, but he was still an actor back in the '60s. He
Oh,
was
okay.
still in the fucking Playboy mansions and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was in shows way before the Cosby Show. Cosby was something that he had fell into later on.
I think Jared is innocent. I think the Illuminati got to him.
Oh, you think that this is an Illuminati setup?
Oh,
Wow.
definitely.
The Illuminati's trying to take down Jared from Subway. What does he know? He must know some important shit.
Well, that boy Bill Cosby's got it ain't Jello he's dipping in. And he's
Oh, I
putting
know it.
date
I
rape
know it.
drugs.
I've got it. I know exactly. I know exactly what the fuck. I know what Jared knows. I know what he knows, man. They're taking the Planned Parenthood shit, right? Do you remember I told you about the Planned Parenthood from Fox and the shit that I wouldn't cover because I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if any of it's real. They're
All right.
taking that shit, right, and making the BLTs at Subway, I guess. You think?
Hmm.
Maybe? I don't know.
And
And he knew
Jared,
about it. He was going to expose it, but, they
Jared,
said, well, we're going to...
Jared found out about that shit, and he
Wait,
was gonna
guys,
tell
wasn't
somebody.
Jared featured on an episode of Raw? I wonder if WWE's going to erase him from their episode.
I don't know, was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on one of the episodes with The Miz.
Oh, man. Hang on real quick. Let me get some water.
So I'm
Give me a-
wondering if the WWE's going to erase him from their books.
I'm sure they will.
I mean, he's only on one episode, to my knowledge, but I mean, I'm just curious to see what they're going to do about that. If they're going
You see, the thing is back in the day, you had these rich, successful people that everything they did was pretty much swept under the rug, and now it just can't be done anymore.
No, of course not. Too much media, too much technology won't allow that.
Exactly, the technology and the media. So now they're having to deal with these people instead of protect them.
Well, see, here's the deal, right? They use the media now to try and protect them. But the bad thing is now you got social media, and now
Yes.
you have social websites, and then you got, independent media sources or
Yeah.
like YouTube here, where everybody comes in and tries to sit here and do their take on the news, and then they'll look up certain stuff, and it's almost well, like I said, I know you're an atheist there, Stephen Rose and whatnot, but it's like it says in the Bible. It says that the apocalypse. Think about the apocalypse. What does apocalypse stand for? The unveiling. It means that everything will be exposed. Well, now you've got what? The internet, the web, and pretty much everything gets exposed now. You can't keep anything secret anymore. So all the secrets will come to light. It says it in the Bible. It's hilarious, kind of, if you
But
stop and
back
think
then with
about it.
technology, it was a little bit easier to hide, you know, because there were no cell phones, there was no internet, there was no, you know, way to be able to get anything out. Basically you just had Kodiak cameras. If you didn't catch it
Yeah.
at the right moment, basically it was his word against mine
You
or
can
her
put
word
a
against mine.
you can put a camera and a microphone in any goddamn thing you want nowadays.
Yeah.
Everything is being recorded and videoed. Seems like everything. Even when someone gets stopped by a police officer, first thing they do is turn on their camera and record.
Oh, I know, and I work in security, and I used to work on the bar scene, so there used to be, like, we would have to get aggressive with people every now and again, throw them on the ground, put handcuffs on them, and shit. Sometimes you had to get a little bit more aggressive than other times, is what I'm trying to say. And that's the first thing that they would all fucking do. You're sitting there beating the hell out of somebody because they're fucking trying to come over here and cut somebody with a blade or something like that, and you've got them on the ground and you're shoving their fucking face into the ground. The first thing they do is sit here like this right here and fucking start recording your ass, and it's like, well, hey, you want to get cut? I'll let him back up and let him cut your ass, but you go ahead and keep recording, dude. Whatever, fucking don't matter to
So it
me.
makes you look like you're in the wrong because they're filming it at the point in which he's on the ground.
Right, whenever he's on the ground. I mean, I think God, there's this guy, right? I was actually, my buddy, he's pretty big and stuff like that. He's a Hispanic guy, but he had this big fucking goatee that goes around. But he had this baby face, you know what I'm saying? And he kind of reminded me of Teddy Ruxpin. He's a security guard. This guy's fucking big, but he reminded me of Teddy Ruxpin. So I remember he was walking this guy out. This guy is fucking big too. Just fucking big fucking guy. And he had him like this right here, and he's trying to control him and walk him out of the club. And he's got this pissed off look on his face. But he looks like Teddy Ruxpin. I couldn't help. I was sitting there laughing at him. And I mean, I know I should have been clearing people out of the way for him, but this is the first time I've ever seen him in action. And I just thought it was fucking hilarious, him walking the guy out of the door. And I was like, hey, y'all move out of the way. Let's get back and stuff like that. Well, this guy tried to he rolls him into the side of the fucking girl's bathroom, and this guy goes flinging into the fucking wall. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I had to fucking jump up, and I stuck my knee right in his fucking spine, dude. Just bam! Right there. And I'm fucking just got his fucking, I'm getting my fucking handcuffs out. Fucking, I slap him on one wrist, and what the fuck do we fucking see? They're fucking already starting to fucking record and shit like this. This motherfucker gets up and tries to play off that he didn't get shoved in the fucking women's restroom and shit like that. He strikes a pose for the fucking camera. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You gonna help me or not? And so we finally got this big motherfucker outside and everything like that. You didn't help me. You were laughing. But you did look like Teddy Ruxpin, bro. I'm sorry. You just looked like a pissed off Teddy Ruxpin, man. I couldn't help it, dude.
So Teddy Ruxpin was striking a pose for the cameras.
Yeah, he did. He come back here. He's gonna do a pose. He goes, wow, and shit like that. I'm like,
That's
dude,
good
that's
stuff.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it ain't on fucking Instagram or something or fucking another fucking site.
No
They
doubt.
fucking dude. I'm telling you, especially working at the college bars. Yeah, you with a lot of athletes. See, that's how I met. I know you're a Cowboy fan. That's the same place I met Terrence Williams at before, and
That's the
some of the other ones.
coolest motherfucker. He fucks back with everybody on Twitter.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
They used to call him T-Dub at Baylor, and I, I remember, dude. I was walking out. He cock blocked me actually. This fucking hot chick's coming over there. Hey, da, 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 da. Actually, you know, she was sitting there. I forgot telling me her day at the club, and I'm like, fuck, I don't care. Go home. And I want to get out of here. Quicker y'all leave, the fucking quicker I can leave. And she's just, she's just like a little fucking hot little thing. This motherfucker was sitting there getting all pissy with everybody else and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, calm the fuck down. I'll take care of it, whatnot. Yeah, y'all go this way. Just let the man alone. I know he plays for the Cowboys. Just go this way right here. And then go back. She starts talking to me. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, because you know you are hot, so I guess you could sit here and talk to me for a little while. This motherfucker decides he wants to come over here and talk to me now. Of course, because I'm talking to a hot fucking chick, dude. And oh my goodness, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh well, thank you for cock blocking, but you did do me a good job in fantasy football, so I got to give you that one. Yeah, I've always tried to stay cool with these guys, though. I don't like to sit there and say, hey, you know, like Tony Romo, fuck it, you dude, you're a fucking dude just like me, man. Hey, what's up, dude?
Right.
Whenever I'm out of uniform, you can buy me a beer, but you know, right now I can't do it. It was pretty cool. It was a different experience, though. But yeah, you're right, man. It's a new era, man. You got to watch what you do now.
Yep.
I remember, and that guy that I was telling you about, I really kind of felt really bad for him because he was just fighting too fucking much. And usually, whenever you put fucking handcuffs on somebody, you control what I put them handcuffs on you. I control what you're doing. You know, if I fucking want you to go this fucking way, I just yank on my cuff. You're gonna go the way I want to, or you're gonna get your fucking wrist broken, and that's just the way it happens. I felt really particularly bad for this guy because, I mean, he was probably, well, he was bigger than you are, Steven, you know, and you're pretty big, you know. You
Yeah, I
could
weigh
probably,
230.
yeah, this guy had to have at least weighed at least that much. But he had big fucking wrist as well. Well, whenever he wouldn't give up and stop fighting, I clamped them fucking handcuffs down. And whenever I finally got him outside and set him down on the ground, and he was like, oh, crying now. I'm like, dude, I'll go ahead and loosen them cuffs up. And then, you know, because I know I clamped you kind of hard because you wouldn't stop fighting. And whenever I fucking loosened them handcuffs up, I realized that it left an indentation in his fucking arm with the fucking handcuffs on it. And I'm like, you know, well, if you work with the people, if you're fucking if you've already got to the fucking point where somebody has to put fucking handcuffs on you, you might as well go along with them because if you try to resist and stuff like that, you're gonna fucking regret it later on, and you won't. Like I said, I'm surprised I didn't break anything.
Are you authorized to use lethal force?
In a situation like that, we're given the authorization by like the people, the owners of the bar and whatnot. So whoever owns that property, you know, you got to understand whenever you're coming into their house.
Are you commissioned or a non-commissioned officer?
I'm commissioned.
So do you have a gun?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever had to use it?
No, I've never had to use it. Usually I can talk my way out.
Have you ever came close to where you thought, damn, I might have to use it?
I was working on Section 8 apartments at one time, and
I'll be right back.
landlord used to have me go out there and pass out, you know, what the rent's going up or down to. So I was out there. I remember I was passing some flyers out and stuff like that for that immediate purpose and whatnot. And they gave me a stack like that big, and I just go to every fucking apartment and throw it on there, and just go by and make sure that everybody got it. All of a sudden, I hear some cop cars in the background. Man, it sounded like they were giving somebody hell of a chase. It was at least, like I said, about 3 or 4 police cars that I could hear. And then all of a sudden, they start getting a little bit louder. And I'm like, huh, they're coming this way. Me, working security, I don't give a shit. I'm trying to get all this shit done. And they get a little bit louder. I'm like, wow, man, they're really giving it hell, man. They may come past here or something. I don't know. Now, I said, no way, because this is a gated community. Most Section 8 houses, this is why whenever you hear on the news, whenever they said that Trayvon Martin lived in a gated community, that's Section 8. But anyways, with that being said, I said, nobody's going to come in here because it's fucking, they got the gates up and everything like that. They have the timer, where it's a gated community. Who the fuck is going to try to plan a mass escape in a fucking gated community? So I didn't feel like I had anything to worry about. All of a sudden, I heard them turn and shit like that right here. And sure as shit, they were coming through the fucking gate. This fucking little S10 and about 4 fucking police cars. Well, the fucking police cars fucking just were all straight in pursuit. They just followed them. I'm like, shit, nobody's going to cover the gate right back there? So I fucking had to hop in my car. Them damn flyers went every fucking where, man. I'm just fucking... And I had to fucking block that gate off real quick before he got out that gate. I'm surprised at least one cop didn't stay back to block the gate. But they all 3 went and followed his ass, so I blocked the gate off. And sure as shit, this motherfucker in that S10 comes over there. He fucking hops out of the fucking truck, and I pull my fucking gun, and I start going after him, because I don't know what the fuck... Clearly, with this many fucking cops following you, there's a reason why they're following you, and I ain't gonna fucking sit here and find out. It turned out that he was a maintenance man, and he was planning to kill somebody up there at the apartment complex, I guess. They found all these guns that he had with the serial number filed off and shit. And that was the only one time that I thought I might have had to shoot somebody if, say they were to sit there.
When you chased him, how far did you chase him?
I chased him probably, I don't know, it's an apartment complex. I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 feet. Then a cop came out of nowhere and fucking just kind of sideswiped him, and we ended up detaining him without having to shoot anybody because, like I said, the cops were all there. Fucking half the fucking Temple PD was there, and yeah, they cleared out all that shit. And
were the cops thanking you for helping his sister?
I don't really remember, man. This was, God, this had to have been about 2007 sometime probably, man.
Oh, okay.
It was a long time ago. I forgot what it is, but I know half the fucking cops around here. In fact, I know a lot of the fucking cops around here. In fact, I know half the fucking cops in Texas, man. Whenever, like I said, I was in the National Guard, and a lot of these guys that were in the National Guard are in law enforcement somewhere or another. Whether it be FBI, some of them are. Some of them drug task force. So I know like a lot of different law enforcement, state troopers, all kinds of shit. I do because serving with them in the military and whatnot.
Back, Phil?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So what do y'all really think? What would you think that Phil? We'll go and start with you. What do you think Jared probably should have gotten out of this?
At least I said 100 years, which is like extreme, but they do give out sentences that are ridiculous. Steven said 50, so I would agree with that.
Well, they only charge him with 1 count, and then they're going to make the excuse, well, these sex offenders who get caught on Chris Hansen's show only get 4 years. So we really couldn't give him too many more years, considering that these guys are only getting between 4 and 7 years, which is true. But in the same sense, if he's admitting to all these kids, and to me, it just seems like, why would he admit to more when you only charge him for one? That's retarded.
Isn't there a difference?
Huh?
Isn't there a difference? Because the people on the Chris Hansen show didn't actually do it, and he did. They were going to, but he actually did it.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's too much of an argument right there.
See, I don't see a whole lot of fucking videos coming up, you know, whenever you look at YouTube and you know, Jared Fogle, pedophile, or anything like that. I don't see none of the stuff coming up on YouTube. So, like, clearly nobody's talking about it right now on YouTube. It's kind of weird because everybody's sitting there talking about what another YouTuber did on their channel, or putting another YouTube up on Pornhub or something or whatnot. And, yeah, I don't see a lot of people talking about stuff like this right here. I mean, which is good. Like I said, I'm kind of trying to get away from whatever the hell they're doing anyway, so it don't really fucking matter to me too much. But yeah, it's wicked and it's sad that, you know, not a lot of people are picking this up. Maybe some of my subs will see what I'm doing and maybe do a video themselves. You know, maybe y'all should go out there. The more videos we get out about this, the more it gets out there, the more people will know that, hey, we need to maybe do a little bit more about this. I mean, what did any of the Vatican Church people get? Did they get anything whenever they had that big Vatican Church pedophile ring?
Yeah, whenever they get, I noticed whenever, like, even in that situation with the Dugars or whatever, where that one kid who was molesting other children, the church just covered it up and just moved him to another part of the facility. I'm like, what the hell? You know, like, you hear stories of these pastors who are molesting kids, and the church just sweeps it under the rug. You know?
Do they get away with it? I don't...
Seems like a lot of the times they do.
It's sad. I mean, you know, it's funny because everybody will sit there and jump on board with, say, something that I don't believe is real, with like the Sandy Hook. I don't believe that that was real. They'll jump on board with that right there. But they'll sit there and say, well, we need to take away everybody's gun for the children. But you have shit like this go on, and that's going to court, and nobody's saying anything about it. Like I said, I would like to sit there and find the article about the Marine Corps base that actually had a pedophile ring going on it, and they were trying to cover it up, and some Marines got shot.
What do you think about that Chattanooga situation, where the 5 Marines were killed, or 6 Marines were killed by that guy who went in there and started shooting, Muslim guy?
Yeah, that may be it.
Yeah.
And he was a known sex offender.
Wow.
I think so. I don't know.
It just seems like, to me, like the government or the criminal justice system is just a joke. Like, it seems like, I guess, if the more money you have or the more famous you are, like, the better opportunities you have, like, the justice system does not apply to you, versus the everyday street person would get the book thrown at them. Now, I know you're going to say, well, Jared Fogle got 5 to 12.5 years, which is more than the guys that are on Chris Hansen, but at the same time, it just seems like, to me, like, you have one charge, but he admitted to 14. I don't see...
But that's very much a slap on the wrist.
Pretty much.
And a lot of this stuff is on Fox, and I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but Fox News, since the Obama's been in the White House and the Oval Office, just hasn't been as mainstream as it has been in recent past. But then again, I don't really think that CNN is getting a lot of the traction that they used to. But
No.
Clearly, like your political topics for CNN, MSNBC are trending more on Facebook and whatnot. I don't think that's right. But like I said, a lot of shit that's on Fox and stuff like that just hasn't really been making it as much since the Obama administration. But now, when Bush was in, that's all you would listen to was Fox. It'd be Fox every fucking thing. But now it's more like CNN. Everything's CNN now.
Did they say what kind of prison he's going to?
Didn't say anything like that. It just said that they said he could receive no less than 5.5 and no more than 12.5. So maybe the judge may go in the middle, or he may say your sentence is between 5 to 12, meaning like you are 12 years, but you can get off on 5 on good behavior or some bullshit like that.
But what type of prison did they say? Is he gonna
No,
go
they
to
haven't
like?
said anything like that yet.
Is he gonna go to like one of these country club prisons or where you don't
Yeah.
do shit?
Yeah, and you get
Subway restaurant there.
Did you say Subway restaurant in there?
Yeah, he'll have a Subway restaurant commissary.
Yeah.
Please, Jared, put down the Subway and have a seat.
So he may not even serve the whole fucking 12 years.
No, he'll serve 5, they said.
He'll serve 5 years?
5.5.
5.5? Man, that's really, really fucking sad. It's like our fucking law system is like fucking broke, man.
Yeah.
It is. It's kind of disgusting. Because now, this motherfucker's gonna be back out on the street. You can rest a fucking sure that as soon as he gets out, it's maybe he'll change. But I mean, how much is Jared worth? I wonder.
14 million.
14 million, and he only has to pay 1.4 million in reparations.
Yeah, he'll take his money and he'll be able to live the rest of his life out of existence.
He could spend 100,000 a year and still live the rest of his life.
Yeah, he'll just disappear, live a simple life, and you'll never hear from him again.
Yeah, he's got 5 years of we don't know what kind of prison. You know, now, if he does get in a fuck me in the ass prison, then he may not see that. You know, he may not make it out of jail. It's a good possibility because they don't take too much kindly to fucking child rapists in those kind of prisons. I'm just saying.
Hey, they may punk him out of his money.
Or he might go to prison and put him back on all his weight and then come out and lose all his weight and be the blimpy guy or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And pick up a new contract, right?
We'll see Jared on some like little mom and pop commercial where he's like, I went to prison and I gained massive weight. I came out, I went to this restaurant, I've lost all my weight. I'm not a child molester anymore. Eat fresh.
Footlongs are not all what they're cracked up to be.
And then the spokesperson, he's like, I've rehabilitated myself. If you come to so-and-so's restaurant, we can supply you.
He may end up being the spokesperson for KY Jelly.
Oh.
Yeah, we can't think of any other uses for it neither.
Dude, now here's a better one. If he goes to prison and they put him on The Longest Yard Part 2 with Jared.
The Longest Yard, perfect fit.
Hey, Aaron Hernandez is going to be the tight end, and then he's going to be like the assistant coach or something.
Yeah.
No, he would be the wide receiver.
No, Ray
Caruth is the wide receiver.
Oh, hey, Ray Simpson will be the running back. Dude, they're going to have a massive, good football team for Longest Yard, too.
Who's going to be the running back?
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson, Ray Caruth, who else, man?
Well, because OJ's in prison right now, so why don't they just put the team together and just have like a fantasy thing? Why not?
Yeah. Instead of instead of Penn State, we can call them the State Pen.
Yeah.
Jared's gonna
Yeah.
come out in fucking prison tats and shit. And he's gonna
gonna
be
be one of them
gangster
damn
Jared, and they're
cheerleaders.
gonna have him on some like
Give me a D,
they're gonna have him on they're gonna have him on some like hip hop commercial. He's gonna be like, after my time in prison, I had nowhere to go, and the first place that picked me up was so and so's fashion. They brought me in and gave me some clothes, and I was able to change my life just like that. If you come down here, you can be just as fresh as me.
See, back in the early 2000s, he could have definitely fucking signed a deal with the Cincinnati Bengals, but now it's tending to look like more like the San Francisco 49ers.
That ain't no lie.
Somebody put up a picture of I guess prisoners having a prison meeting, and they said, here's the San Francisco 49ers pregame ritual.
Oh, that's fucked up. Dude, they had 12 arrests in 5 years.
Man, Cincinnati was just as bad. I think. Yeah, just not that long ago, before they finally got a decent team together. Every damn one of their players was going to prison for something, man.
Yeah, they like 8 arrests in like 2 years. Like, damn.
And it's like, what the fuck are they putting in the water in San Francisco, man? I don't know, dude, but I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Do y'all have any final thoughts, man?
Well, Jared doesn't have to pay $5 to take the foot long up his ass anymore.
Oh man, it's just a shame. We joking, but it's really a shame what that guy did.
It is. It's a tragedy, man.
And he got off light too. That's even the worst part.
Yeah, he got off really, really, really light. And like I said, there's nothing that says that he's going to serve that whole 12 years.
They said
He
he'll
could
probably
serve 5.5. Yeah, he's probably only going to serve 5. He's still a fucking multi-millionaire. The bad thing is, what's up?
He's probably going to end up in some kind of easy federal penitentiary.
Yeah, easygoing because he's a celebrity and whatnot. I'm sure they've already worked out a fucking deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's not gonna learn his lesson because we don't demand it from guys like that right there. But you know, somebody makes a stupid mistake, and you know, it's a mistake, and they end up spending like the rest of their life in prison. And some of it may be fucking just faulty DNA and whatnot. We can't. It's sad. It's sad because yeah. It's like Steven said, that if anything, if we fuck up small, then yeah, we'll fucking get 20 fucking years thrown at us. If they fuck up and do these egregious shit, nobody holds their feet to the fire. There's nobody's gonna come over here and say, hey, we're outraged about this. None of y'all will. Well, I mean, there's some of y'all like XS Brander maybe on there fixing to do a video on this and whatnot, but for the most part, it's fucked up. Nobody's talking about it. Everybody wants to know what everybody else is doing here on YouTube. They like the drama. They like starting shit with each other. They love to keep their channel, which is okay, I guess. You know, y'all are promoting each other's channel. I just rather not. I'd rather come over here, talk about other shit, my interests, not come over here do the fucking drama anymore. I'm just tired of doing it than having to run back to the fucking internet. Who is this guy talking about today? Is he talking about me? Did he mention me? Yada, yada, yada. Just wait for to start doxing each other. Wait till y'all start hacking each other. And then, you know, hear y'all cry about it later. Yeah, I just prefer to stay out of that. But anyways, you guys, Tell us what y'all think about this right here. Like, subscribe to Stephen Rose. Y'all go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section, by the way. Go ahead and subscribe to Phil. I guess he doesn't do a lot of videos on his channel, but he comes on our channels, and we like to keep him around every once in a while. He gives some pretty good advice. And tell us what y'all think. And for now, peace.
Peace.
Peace out.
Good night.